All right, hey guys. So in the previous lesson, we learned how to find evidence in our research and how to pick out pieces of evidence in our research. But today we're going to be talking about making a thesis statement, which is right here at the end of our introduction in our 5-paragraph essay. So we're right here at the end of our introduction, and the thesis statement, does anyone know what it is? It's okay if you don't. Does anyone know what it is? Yeah.
Is it like a really important sentence?
Yes. Do you know why it's important?
No, I don't remember.
Okay. The thesis statement is your most important. So it's your most important sentence. So it's the most important sentence in your essay. And the reason for this is because your thesis statement is going to outline the plan for the rest of your essay. It's going to tell you and the reader what you're going to argue and the reasons that you're arguing it. So, and the reason, we're going to have 3 today because if we look ahead, we're going to be writing 3 body paragraphs. So we're going to have 3 reasons for each body, one for each body paragraph. So it's essentially a roadmap for the rest of your essay. Does that make sense when I say that roadmap? Cool. So it's a roadmap for your essay. It gives you and the reader a direction of where you're going. Cool. So now we know what it is. How do we write one of these things? So what we're going to do is usually you will have a prompt or a question that you're answering with a thesis statement. So a thesis statement is always going to have an arguable position. So I've written a prompt up here, but sometimes you're coming up with your own questions. So if you're doing your own research, you may come up with your own question to answer. But today I've written, our question is, should we put recycling bins next to all trash cans? Now, before we answer that, we should notice that this can be answered in more than one way. And that's good. That's what we want, because a thesis statement is arguable. You can argue for or against. So if I were to say the sky is blue, is that an opinion or is that a fact? That's a fact, right? So I couldn't argue that the sky is red because it's not red, right? There's not 2 sides to that. If I were to say UNC is the best school in the South, is that a fact or an opinion? That's a fact. We think it's a fact here, but could we argue that we could argue Clemson's a good school in the South? What if I were to say that Jonathan is the most attractive teacher ever? That's an opinion, right? That's an opinion. But you can make a good case, but it's definitely an opinion, so we could argue that. So, first thing we're going to do, step 1, we're going to state our opinion. State our opinion. And today, my opinion is we should put trash cans put recycling bins next to all trash cans. We should put recycling bins next to all trash cans. Awesome. So that's my opinion. And now, because we're trying to convince our reader of something, we need, step 2, to give reasons why this is the best opinion. So we need to convince people that this is the best opinion, and the way we do that is we give 3 supporting reasons. So the next thing we do is we got to come up with 3 supporting reasons for our opinion. Awesome. So for a reason, I could totally say we should put recycling bins next to all trash cans because I think it's fun to recycle. But that's not the best reason. Does anyone know why that's not a good reason? Yes?
Other people may not think it's fun.
Right, so that's specific to me, right? So that's a personal answer. I think recycling is fun, but when I'm coming up with reasons, I need to ask, would other people agree with me? So what if I were to say, we should put recycling bins next to all trash cans because recycling is good for the environment? Does that work?
Yeah.
Cool, I could totally convince somebody that recycling is good for the environment. Awesome, so now we've got one reason. The environment. But now, since we're writing a 5-paragraph essay down the road, we need 2 more reasons. Can you guys come up with 2 more reasons for me? What other good reasons should we put recycling bins? Yeah?
Maybe to keep our landfills smaller.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, we can totally. So there'd be less trash in the landfills. Okay. Less trash in our landfills. Anyone else have another reason? Yeah?
Would it be more convenient to recycle if they were in more places?
Right, awesome. So, could we say recycling is more accessible?
Yeah.
Okay, so it would make recycling more accessible. Awesome. Recycling. So now we've got our opinion, and we've got 3 reasons, right? So this is the best opinion out there, and here's why. All we got to do now is put them together into a sentence. So the way we do that is we're going to use this formula. We're going to state our opinion, and we're going to say, because 3 reasons. So can someone read this out for me? So somebody state our opinion. What's our opinion?
We should put recycling bins next to trash cans.
Because, somebody else,
Recycling is good for the environment.
comma,
Less trash in our landfills.
and
It would make recycling more accessible.
boom, there's our thesis statement, right? So now we've stated our opinion, and we've given our 3 reasons. We should put recycling bins next to trash cans because recycling is good for the environment. There would be less trash in our landfills, and it would make recycling more accessible. Does anybody have any questions on how we just made that sentence? What's your question, George? You look like you got something.
How do we know the order to put the reasons?
It doesn't necessarily matter, but it will be the same order that we do in our body paragraphs.
Okay, great.
Right. Awesome. Cool. All right, we're going to chant now. I have a chant written for thesis statements, so repeat after me, okay? Ready? We're going to write an essay.
We're gonna write an essay.
But before we start,
we
need to write a thesis.
we need to write a thesis.
Because that's the paper's heart.
Because that's the paper's heart.
First,
First,
I need to state my opinion.
I need to state my opinion.
It's the answer to a question.
It's the answer to a question.
It should be debatable.
It should be debatable.
It's my paper's first impression.
It's my paper's first impression.
Then,
Then,
we write 3 supporting reasons,
we write 3 supporting reasons,
convincing others that we're right.
convincing others that we're right.
They should be believable
They should be believable
and make others think we're bright.
and make others think we're bright.
Put the 2 together.
Put the 2 together.
Pick up your pen. It's time to craft.
Pick up your pen, it's time to craft.
We've got an opinion and 3 reasons.
We've got an opinion and 3 reasons.
Now let's write a draft.
Now let's write a draft.
Awesome. Cool. Thanks, guys.